Niching down is the first and most important step in starting out in as a Power BI consultant, or even for every Power BI professional. So this is the first step in our 5-step process that we follow for our Power BI consulting program, and this is the step that I most often see people either miss or mess up. Now, the challenge that I was having in this program was that I didn't realize that figuring out your niche is actually like riding a bicycle. And when I got it, it made things so much simpler for me and the members in our program. So I'll tell you what was happening in the program. I was trying to tell these members who had joined our program that, hey, you gotta niche down, niche down, niche down. But there was a lot of resistance. I would get into a lot of conversations with these members who were like, oh, Avi, I'm just not sure. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Maybe this is not the right one. And I was pretty frustrated to the point where I felt like pulling my hair out and say, hey, what I hadn't realized was that I wasn't trying to take them somewhere, and I needed to tell them that. So I needed to tell them that it's not about the destination. So here they were sitting on the bicycle, and here I am trying to teach them how to ride. And I was saying, put your foot on the pedal and start pedaling, right? That's me saying, figure out your initial niche and let's get going. But here they were on the bicycle, not ready to move, just kind of stuck there and saying, oh, but I don't want to go that way. Maybe if I turn that way, oh, I'm not so sure. Maybe I should go that way. And that's what was going on. But again, I didn't realize it till I found this bicycle analogy. So now when I'm talking to members, I tell them this analogy, and I tell them that, once you start riding, right, once you learn how to ride bicycle, it's very easy to change directions. And you can do that. Right now is not about that. Right now is about figuring out your initial niche and then going through the steps in the program, because they do flow one from the other. So once you have figure out your niche, then you know who you're talking to, then you know who your audience is, and hence you can go to step 2, whereas you create a Pillarstone story around that, a story that you tell them. And story is, by the way, that we sell, right? The best way to sell is not to sell, is just to tell them the story. And then, of course, you go to step 3, which is lead generation, which is you focus on your niche, that, hey, this is the audience that I'm targeting, and you go find that audience and you keep telling your story again and again and again, and you get better and better at it, right? So again, the idea is to get started and get going, to learn to ride the bicycle, because once you figure that out, it's really easy to change. Now, of course, we have seen that with a few members in our program, and this is called pivoting, where you focus on one niche and then you pivot. Now, this is a strategic move. If you're pivoting every week, no, that's not the idea. But you focus on one niche, learn all the steps, and you go, I know how to do this. Now, of course, I'll also use my example. When I started off teaching Power BI, I've actually done 3 pivots in my career so far, right? In my business so far. And my first niche was, I was focusing on people who were using Excel, and I would talk to them and I would talk about the Excel hell, and I'm like, oh, are you stuck in these spreadsheets and formulas? That was my first niche. But as times changed, my niche changed, and my second niche was that I was no longer concerned about Excel. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about people who had come onto Power BI, were starting to use it, but getting really frustrated, right? So this is not somebody really new, but who has been trying it for a while, but finds that it's far deeper than they expected, right? So so I would talk to them differently, and I would say that, is Power BI easy or is Power BI hard? Well, you probably realize that, as you kind of step in, unless you master the core concepts, it feels really hard. So that was my second audience, and now, of course, my third niche that I'm targeting is that, hey, I don't really care where you get your Power BI skills from. I know there are lots of teachers out there, really, really amazing. Go get your skills from anywhere, but skills do not equate to success. That's what my focus is, and that's what my current niche is, that I'm going to help you leverage your Power BI skills to create breakthrough success in your career. Skill is not the differentiator. It rarely is, right? Because skills can always be learned. But the key message that I'm trying to say to you here is that once I learned how to ride the bicycle, every time I switched to a new niche, my business, I was able to establish myself much faster than before. So every time I got faster. So again, guys, I know you're gonna feel that resistance, but again, it's not about figuring out that perfect niche and perfect direction that, that's where I wanna go. Now I can start pedaling. Start pedaling now. You can choose your direction later and create your life by design. I'll catch you in my next video. Until then, power on.